here I'm just going to state a fact. It's not political. It's not an advertisement. It's just a fact. So there's this thing in the United States Senate called filibuster. It's a library. We talk about things like facts here. Okay. And it has been used over the years in a way that I think many of us would agree has been used to obstruct progress.
One more time before we let you go, because I think it is on the mind of Arizona voters. Are you saying this morning that there is no circumstance that you can envision or would even try to negotiate in which you and Kari Lake would appear at a debate together before the election?
At this point in the race, with 30 days to go, our schedule in terms of forums is pretty much set. And I'm really happy with where we are in the plans we have to continue talking directly to the voters of Arizona.
Let me ask you, how has it impacted you personally? What have you learned, specifically learned from the Latino community?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't necessarily think about it that way in those terms. I think I really value my relationships across the board with different folks, and I learn all the time from people in my life. My sister-in-law, she is Latino, and her family, I love hanging out with them and practicing my Espanol un poquito. But yeah, I mean, I learned so much from her family, but I think it's really hard to separate out Arizona and subtract Latino culture because it's so much a part of who we are as a state. And Arizona wouldn't be Arizona without what the Latino community brings.
So there's not one specific lesson you could share with me, other than Espanol with you. It's 1/3 of the state.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think there's many lessons. The emphasis on family values, hard work. Those are something that I value in my own life, and you know.
Would you invite the president to campaign along your side?
I'm focused on the race here in Arizona and the needs of Arizonans. It's a race between myself and Kari Lake, and the ideas that we're bringing to the table.
Julieta, so to your point, I early on asked my team, well, let me just say, I love Venn diagrams. I really love Venn diagrams. You know, the circles, right? 3 usually.
But do Democrats bear some of the responsibility? You control the White House, both chambers of Congress. Why shouldn't voters hold Democrats responsible for the economy?
I think they do. I think while I think inflation is obviously a worldwide phenomenon, I am open to the fact that we have to make decisions here in the United States. Democrats are in power. We're in the White House, in the House, and the Senate, even if it's slim margins. So sure, I do think that there is a rightful skepticism about particularly the last COVID package.
Remember Venn diagrams, those 3 circles? Right. And then let's just see where they overlap. You will not be surprised because I have constructed a Venn diagram on this. Remember those 3 circles, how they overlap? I love Venn diagrams. So I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, you know, the 3 circles. And so I asked my team, right? They're fantastic. He sees the Venn diagram of it all. He sees that there are those circles, and maybe people seem that they're a little different. They live in different parts of the country. They may be different age or different race. But that area in the middle, that overlap. And I asked my team to do a Venn diagram of where these, I asked my team to do a Venn diagram for me of where we are seeing attacks and who are the attacks against and the similarity. And when you look at a diagram of just a Venn diagram in that regard, it tells a real tale.
Arizona has expanded its empowerment scholarship accounts, which gives vouchers to students to attend private schools. You oppose this idea, right? Mm-hmm. It's known also as school choice.
Yes.
Could you explain to us why you oppose it? Does it harm public education in your view?
It does harm public education. It takes education dollars directly out of public schools and puts them into the hands of private schools. at the expense of public school students. This does not create real choice for everyone. It's inequitable choice.
As Secretary of State of a border state, what's your opinion? Have these programs done more harm than good?
Title 42 is not immigration policy. It's health policy, and it's not working. Border crossings have increased since it was invoked in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. So I am not sure what issue it's trying to solve, but it's not working.
Who should decide what is being taught to students? Mr. Peters, you have 1 minute. What role should Congress play in certain curriculum like race or gender-based teachings in schools?
None. The U.S. House of Representatives is not chartered in any way, shape, or form to address education and the Constitution of our country. Bureaucrats and career politicians in 2,000 miles away have no business in the classroom in Pahrump, Nevada, in Las Vegas, Nevada, in Lincoln, and in classrooms in Lincoln County, Nevada. The people that should have control over what kids are taught in our schools are the parents, the teachers. It stops there. Power to Parent is an organization that advocates for that and for school choice. They have endorsed my campaign because they know that the bureaucrats and, again, the career politicians in Washington have done an incredibly horrible job in this arena. Nevada has ranked for a long time now on the bottom of the list for education in the United States. Nevada deserves better, students deserve better, and parents deserve the respect they need as parents to control what their kids are taught.
All right, Mr. Peters, thank you so much. Mr. Horsford, you have 1 minute. What role should Congress play in certain curriculum like race or gender-based teachings in schools?
Well, I find it fascinating that my opponent says that politicians in Washington shouldn't decide what happens in our schools. The same should be said about a woman's freedom to make her own health care decisions.